Listen, we've already recorded the show. At the very end of the show, this just in, there surfaced a video of Biden falling on stage that popped up on Lindy's telegraph machine.
A pigeon came to Lindy.
The courier pigeon dropped off
Somebody
a memo.
paged her and let her know.
We have not seen this.
Hey,
Tell yourself to roll in the video.
Ian, roll that video.
I love it when he tells himself to roll the video. Okay, Ian, play that video in regular voice.
Looks very confused.
Here you go.
Oh, God.
Oh,
That's
shit.
a big tumble.
He fucking went
He
down.
fell like 5 feet, dude.
How did he even have that much forward momentum?
Whew.
Watch the salute.
See the cord?
Time out, though. He, went to, make
Bro.
a dead sprint to the end of the stage. You see him,
Let's do it one more time.
Watch. Hey, whoa, oh.
Oh,
My legs. Forgot my legs don't work.
This is not a good look for our country. It makes us look weak, like a president that just falls fucking down all over the place.
Walking, riding a bike.
Poor guy, dude. Walking upstairs, walking all over. Dude, this is an embarrassment. The president just says shit again on stage in front of the whole fucking world again. Oh!
Imagine
all right,
that.
press play. Go figure.
Play. And I think it's his second step.
He's going to run. He's going to run.
He didn't even make it one step.
There's some screaming.
And then it goes dead silent.
But he tore an ACL, right?
He gone.
This is about control. Everybody knows. Everyone complies. We're the kinds of pros. I don't need a plane. I just hit the road. I do what I want. I can't sell my soul. Market about to crash. This is what you chose. Ruining the country. I've been best to go. You gonna take the mark. I take narrow roads. I'm a man of God. I can never fold.
Alrighty. So we're getting into it, and we don't know what we're going into. Here we go. Welcome to the Protect Your Purpose podcast, are you done? Where we talk whiskey
We
business.
sat here for 20 fucking minutes, and I take one drink, and this guy wants to be.
That's what I'm trying to. Why didn't you get all your drinks in before the intro?
He's a ball breaker.
No, it's because who? Him? Yeah.
You.
No, him.
You're
Are we fighting?
Him.
Are we
Listen.
starting off by fighting?
I'll restart. Welcome to the Protect Your Purpose
do that.
podcast. Okay. Welcome to the Protect Your Purpose podcast, where we talk whiskey. Don't you fucking do it. Business, friends, family, and freedom. I'm your host, Matt Marchese, and this is my lovely wife, Lindy. Welcome to the show, honey.
Hi, thank you.
It just skipped me. That's the best one you've done yet.
Zach's not even here, dude.
Who?
Who?
Yeah, I don't know.
Lindy, it's been a long time. Welcome back.
Yes, welcome to the show, honey. Zach, if you behave yourself, we'll acknowledge you later on the show. My microphone's a little wonky. I got my extended arm back, and looks like I'm looking at you.
Can we acknowledge the elephant in the room of why Zach's chair's empty?
Who is Zach? Anyway, we don't know what we're going to talk about today, but we figured we would start with whiskey. Zach, what are we drinking today? You don't even know because you're not here. Lindy, what are we drinking today?
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I am drinking Revelton Rye today.
That means we all are.
Yeah, if
means
Lindy
it's-
says it, that's what we're doing.
It is literally one of my absolute favorites. It's not spicy, and it's very smooth, and it's kind of caramely, kind of sweet, and I love
Caramel. You say caramel, not caramel.
caramel.
Do you say
all
caramel?
day long.
Caramel.
I say caramel.
I'm a caramel guy.
Who says caramel?
Apparently Matt does.
Fucking bougie ass bitches.
How
I'll take
how do you
some
spell-
caramels with
How
that,
do you
please.
spell said word?
CARME.
Lindy is quite the spelling bee
What about
champion.
caramel?
Better than caramel.
Okay.
Sound
actually-
it out.
You
The last time we tried spelling
Sound
something
out-
out, we got canceled.
Sound
Ian.
out any fucking
Yeah.
word in the English language. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's
okay?
true. Ian, I would like you to look up the word caramel.
Don't watch me type it in.
Caramel.
We do know. I know how to spell
And-
it. I know what you're saying.
Ian, bring on that video.
What a douche.
We are looking at how to pronounce the name of this delicious
This guy's gonna tell
ingredient made from caramelized sugar. So how do you go about pronouncing it? There's going to be two different ways depending on your personal preference. Either caramel,
The non-English guy's
caramel,
telling us.
or caramel.
All right.
caramel.
So we're
said.
both
Wait,
right?
hold on.
or
No.
caramel.
We can't both
No,
be
no,
right.
no,
There
no, no,
is
no.
no right or wrong
Please,
way.
pre-
Both
no.
of those
Stop it.
ways
He just
are fine.
stopped you. What you were
Hold
about
on
to
a
say.
second.
Who
Hold
the
on a
fuck
second.
is this guy? Webster?
Hold on a second.
What does he know?
Let me gain some order of this show, okay? Because now I feel like I'm a fucking referee instead of a show host. There is a wrong way. He said there's two ways to say it. There's no wrong way amongst the two. It's implied. And I don't think either of them are what you three monkeys said they were. So let's shut the
he
fuck
said.
up. Let's shut your face for 1 second so we can listen, not having you shout over him. Maybe you're wrong, maybe you're right, but we don't know because every time he went to pronounce it, you went, "Oh!" Like we were in a
heard the
WWE.
whole video.
Just let's play it again, Ian.
Roll the video.
Looking at how to pronounce the name of this delicious ingredient made from caramelized sugar. So how do you go about pronouncing it? There's going to be two different ways depending on your personal preference.
Stop talking, Matt.
Either caramel, or caramel. Caramel.
Press pause.
Or caramel.
I think he's saying
Caramel.
caramel. Caramel. Can we find somebody who speaks our language to
I'm going back to
fucking
YouTube.
into-
I'm going
Yeah,
back
while,
to
you two, Old Faithful.
While he's looking
All
for
right.
that, growing up, my mom say the word apple.
Dude,
Just
that's
say
not even
apple.
a thing. It's just apple.
Apple.
Right. She would always say ample.
No.
And she could not correct herself to save her fucking life. I'm like, why? How does that even become a thing?
So what did she say about it?
Oh,
Do you
that's
want
how
an
she-
apple?
I don't know if her brain could say the word apple.
Lindy says deodorant.
Deodorant.
I've always my brain can't even say it the correct way. Trying to say it.
All right, here we go.
All right, let's go.
Gargamel.
Deodorant.
Gargamel.
Gargamel. Cargamel.
That dude has 500,000 subs, and his name is Pronunciation Man. So I thought.
So he just hold on, do another.
Kawaho.
Yeah, he just fucks him up.
Kawaho.
Gargamel.
To sunny Kawaho.
From now on, we call it Gargamel. When we don't
This
say
guy-
Can we just do a
caramel.
whole video on
This
how to
guy-
pronounce words?
This guy has a whole page.
Oh.
How to say
I
medical.
have some difficult news. I'm afraid that you have acute limp biscuit. You have limp biscuit.
Ditortitor, tortation. Ditortitor, tortation.
What the fuck?
All right, I'm done with this guy.
All right.
He's awesome.
It was funny at first.
Yeah,
It was
can
funny.
we give? I want to give a shout out to Pronunciation Man. Go sub to his channel.
Yeah.
Smash that subscribe button.
Everybody needs to go smash. Oh,
hey.
Speaking of,
Yeah.
you do it.
Oh.
Tell everyone.
Oh.
Smash the subscribe button and give us a like too. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, all the things. Thank you for listening. And if you're listening and not watching, you should come to YouTube and watch us and smash that subscribe button.
That's right. You get
Back to Matt.
Thank you.
Why did you stare into my eyes half of that?
When
Can
he
I not
said,
look at
every
you?
time he
Like,
says
why are we looking at each other's eyes? Then?
every time he says smash, he has to look at you. You tell me why.
No homo.
No homo.
homo. All right. Anyway,
Ian,
so,
take away that video.
Ian gives himself
He gives a little
prompts.
shotgun.
He gives- The best part is that he's prompting himself. Ian, take away that. You notice that? He's talking to himself in
He is
third
hoping.
person.
I'm aware.
He's referring to himself in third person, and then he's doing the action that his other him instructed him to do on my show.
On your behalf.
On-
And yes, I'm doing it as speaking as you too, by the way.
that is a mind fuck, dude.
It is a big
Speaking
mindfuck.
of mind fuck, one of the things we wanted to talk about was Dylan Mulvaney's mind fuck. Let's talk about that.
Oh, man.
So
Oh,
I have a hard time tracking all of this. Well, no, first of all, because I don't care. So if you don't care about
Hard
something,
to
it's
follow along with something
Yeah.
you don't care about.
Yep, hard to track something that you couldn't give one single shit about.
Get it?
But you've done a really good job tracking Dylan Mulvaney's penis. So I would like you, and since last episode you didn't get a single chance. I think you said 7 words the entire
I counted
episode.
them. It was 6.5.
6 and 8. Yeah, I thought it was somewhere around there. I had my little ticker. Every time you'd say a word, I'd give you a click. But
Well, you could play a drinking game, but you wouldn't be drinking. So.
nope, you just would have been sober.
Can we pour this real quick?
Oh yeah, what are we? We're drinking Revelton. It's caramelly.
My mouth
Lindy,
is
you're in
dry.
charge of it
Shit.
today.
Yeah, let's go, Lindy. Zach's not even here. Pour them all. All right, Zach. While Lindy pours us, tell us about your friend's penis. Dylan, not your real friend, your TV friend, your internet friend.
I don't know that much about it either, so let's
Oh,
get that
you
out there.
liar.
What I do know is he portrays himself as a gay,
Pro-trays or poor-trays?
words.
Or is it
Look it up from the pronunciation guy. Let's see what he says. All right, go ahead.
So I believe he started just as a gay man, and then he moved to a trans female.
Queer was before that, remember?
Whatever, tomato. And now
Apple.
And now,
Apple.
apple, you get it.
Deodorant.
But recently,
Caramel Gargamel.
recently he's
All right, I'm sorry. Let's get to the show, man.
Oh, shit.
recently he said he came out to his parents as being sexually interested in women.
Oh.
Romantically.
He's coming full circle. He's trying them
Romantic.
all.
So now he's a male lesbian, trans female.
Hold on a second. I'm a male lesbian. I'm a lesbian. I've been saying this for years. You're telling me that Dylan Mulvaney, a biological man, was a gay man.
Was romantically interested in men.
So that would be a gay dude.
Gay dude.
Cool. Mad respect. Gay dude. Then he decided he's a woman. Okay. So now he's a straight woman.
Yes.
Okay. You tracking?
Yep.
Okay. Tell me if I'm wrong. And then
A trans female that likes dudes. Straight woman. Yep. Gotcha.
a trans female. So if we drop the whole trans thing, in his mind, he's a female who likes dudes. Yeah, like you. Yeah. You're basically a trans. You're basically a trans.
You might as well have a penis.
Hetero. Yeah, you're a hetero trans woman.
Basically.
Okay, so and then as a hetero trans woman that likes men, he switched. Now what you're saying is he's a trans woman, so a woman that likes women.
He is now
he's
a
a
lesbian.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. How's that? Speaking of you thought caramel was tough to get your fucking head around. Yeah. Okay. Track that one. Okay. So words. You said words and mindfuck. So words matter. Definitions matter. And if not, we live in a clown world.
This dude, man.
Get the fuck out of here. This can't even be real. Somewhere in there he said he was.
But she is also getting all the publicity, bad, good, what we all like.
Definitely bad though, because I mean the LGBTQ community is like
he's still being talked
distancing Dylan as far as they possibly can from it. I mean, Dylan might as well be the spokesperson for
he
Target
was
right
getting
now.
flack originally for being trans, but not
Transitioning,
doing
the trans part.
Listen,
exactly. Yeah.
In our pre-show ritual where we talk about what we're going to talk about and then decide we have no fucking clue, and then Ian claps us in and we start rolling.
And then Carmel comes up.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, boom, the show takes place. Takes shape is the words I'm looking. Words matter. Words. This is the show of words. We talked about how the trans community is distancing themselves from Mulvaney. But most importantly, Ian reminded us that we were going to go in a different direction with the show. And last episode, Linda, you weren't here. And I think that's when it goes awry.
South.
Yeah, when you're not here, I go off the fucking deep end. Zach doesn't know how to reel me in.
And real quick, Lindy, if you would have watched last episode, you would have seen Matt gave a very it was heartfelt. He's like, Lindy's not here. I miss her.
He's so dumb.
Oh,
it was heartfelt. I may have
You ever
exaggerated
seen
a little
Crybaby
bit.
where one tear just falls out of his face?
It was this tear, though, so the camera couldn't see it. It was my right tear.
Yeah,
We missed you.
It was so
I saw
you
it.
could see it. Yeah, it was for you.
I was the only one who saw
Tear
it.
for you. Anyhow, we talked about how we were going to go in a different direction because I've been in. Listen, I told you on the last show, I've been in a pissed off mood lately, and it's hard for me to control. It's hard for me to celebrate when I'm watching the intentional destruction. Anyway, it's hard for me to be in a good mood. It's hard for me to talk about the successes, which, as I've said on a dozen shows already, that's what I want to talk about. But it's difficult when we've got our kids, my kids, our kids on the internet, which is at their fingertips all over the place, watching this getting proper mind fucked by a celebrity and acting like this is okay. So I do want to focus on the, hunt the good stuff. I do want to focus on what we need to do, but it's hard to not. And last week last show we kind of went off the rails about a lot of this shit. Ultimately, I just think it's important that we all understand there has to be a set of standards. Like, there has to be, words matter. And when you say things like lesbian, if the word lesbian has been so gay, like gay people, and that's to the point, the gay community is distancing themselves from this, because I think everyone's waking the fuck up, because it is now.
It's offensive to gay.
Right. At what point are you diminishing the value and the identity of every single fucking person until every single person says, well, wait a second. That used to be in my identity, and now you've twisted that up. I used to be just a straight man, and now when you say straight man, we don't even know what that means. Poor Dylan Mulvaney's parents, if this is even a real thing, which I doubt. Can you imagine being the parents of that person? Like, hey, I just want to support you, but at this point,
what do you want to do?
What the fuck, man? I'm done.
Who do you want to do?
I quit.
To add some context to bringing up his parent or their parent, whatever, is that their parents were excited, like, oh, you like women now? Does that mean you're going to have a baby? And then he's like, no, I want her to put a baby in me. And then the parents are
that's
like,
really what this thing said?
Yeah.
Listen, gay community, listen up. We all love you.
Time to rise up.
It's time. You stand up. Listen, black community, minority communities, stand the fuck up. They're trying to destroy your identity. They're lying to you.
Women.
Listen, women, you can't be pro-women and then allow women to win all the fucking women's awards and then stand there and say that that's a proud woman. That's a man. They're stealing your identity. They're trying to fucking deduce us all the way down to what is going to be referred to as humans. They're taking our identity. They're taking our identity. They're taking our national identity. They're taking our individual identity. It's a plan, and it's working. It's working for so many people.
It's working on our kids.
Here's the deal. We've got to figure out a way to get the asleep awake to this. Okay? I understand you think you're being righteous and you think you're doing the right thing, but it's so clear and it's so obvious what this is once you can see it, that at this point I almost feel bad. And like I said, last episode, I kind of went off on a tear on what is happening, but it all goes together, and it's very difficult to hunt the good stuff. It's very difficult to celebrate and educate when you're trying to educate people that just don't understand what's going on. So we're pivoting away from that. We're doing our best. It's hard when in the news and current events are constant and we are force-fed this bullshit. When you want to be on a news show or a current event show or a podcast where you talk about current events, talk about things, relevant things, you can't be successful without understanding what's holding you back from success. If you think that all of this shit is what's important, good luck being successful. You will not. And we're seeing that. We're seeing it all over the place. Dude, I do have an apology to make, speaking of all this woke nonsense. When the Bud Light shit first hit the scene with this Mulvaney crap, I made a comment several times that they're going to forget this. The Bud Light drinkers in 6 months are going to forget this. They're going to be back to their beers, back to their cowboy hats, back to their tailgates, and they're going to be drinking Bud Light. I think I was wrong.
It's even got the boycotting, like it just keeps ramping up and up and up and up. And
dude, it has hit virality to a level of like comedic influence where people are talking shit to each other. Being a Bud Light drinker and being a Target shopper, which we could talk about that too, has become an insult and a humor. Like, I think I was wrong. I didn't realize the magnitude of the power of that virality.
And seeing it with our own eyes, we were at Walmart and Hy-Vee, our grocery store, and the Bud Light, it was over Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
All the Bud Light was there. Not one case was taken out.
And it's at the front of the store, right?
It was one case.
Was it all up at the front?
No, it was back by the beer.
I gotcha. Because I know a lot of stores, Bud Light, they have, such an influence. They had a lot of stores put all the Bud Light up to like right when you walk in the store where they usually have pop. And it's literally not a single case is missing, but it's all right there.
Yep.
So here's my question then.
You have questions.
Where is the line? Because I'll talk about what Frisella said about all this going on. So if you think like us, you understand that these initiatives come from the World Economic Forum, passed down to Bud Light and these corporations, Target, and they're basically have no choice but to do them or they lose their funding, right?
Yep.
So they do these initiatives, Bud Light putting Dylan on Target with their trans line, whatever, expecting us to boycott and stop buying the products and stop drinking the beer, stop shopping at Target, whatever. But if we understand how communism works, it's separating the rich from the poor, right?
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Dividing us. Two separate
classes,
the rich and the poor.
Yep.
So Frisella explained this a lot better than I'm about to, but he's basically saying when we're doing these things, we're not hurting the rich, the CEOs, the bigwigs in these corporations. What we're hurting is, our neighbor, the Budweiser Bud Light truck driver who delivers, the guy that works in the factory, the cashiers at Target. Because if their stock drops, their income revenue's dropping. What are they going to do? Fire employees, right? So, and then that's just furthering the separation of rich versus poor, while simultaneously destroying American brands that have created America's identity.
Yeah.
Where do we draw that line between standing up for I don't believe in pushing this shit, so I'm boycotting Target and Bud Light, versus I don't want my buddy who works for Bud Light to get fired.
Yeah.
And now him and his family are screwed,
So
how do we navigate those waters?
Basically, all right, so a couple things. Number one, if you watch this show and you don't watch or listen to Andy Frisella's show, first of all, he's a good fucking Italian patriot. So God bless him and his family. Love the guy. He describes what's going on in the world so perfectly. Watch his show. Or listen to his show on Spotify or wherever.
And if you've listened to him for a while,
most
of the shit he says comes to fruition at some point.
Yeah.
So he foresees and foreshadows what's about to
He's a big
come.
visionary. He can see the big picture, and once you can see it as clearly as he can and as we can, you can start to predict what's going to happen, because it's like a fucking movie. It's pretty simple. And they've delivered their script to us in many forms. So anyway, we'll get to that. But what Frisella is saying in that, and I haven't heard or listened to that episode. I assume it's a new one. But what he's saying is in a nutshell, is the divide. What they're trying to do is divide us, divide and conquer. Okay. It's a method of war. It's a method of taking over societies to divide the population and conquer them. In the communist world, we're dividing us based on wealth, class systems, rich and poor. They're trying to destroy. It's the destruction of the middle class, which we've talked about 100 times on the show.
Right.
Now, what Frisella is saying is, if they push this down, it creates more divide. And the more divide comes down, the people that suffer are the poor and the middle class, not the fucking rich class. They don't give a shit, because their wealth will ebb and flow. It doesn't matter. It's not cash anyway. They will be able to weather the storm. They have massive influence, massive control, and tons of fucking money. They can literally print money. They're well diversified. It doesn't affect them. Now, does it affect Target stock? Sure. Does it affect their shareholders? Sure. Is it going to put them in the poorhouse? No. Once we understand, and I can't wait to hear it, or what he had to say about it. But basically, what my description of that would be is what I've been saying since the beginning. We have to come together. It is up to us. If we come together and say, that's ridiculous, before they do this, then when they do it, we could say, yep, that's what we thought. That's ridiculous. They're trying to divide us. They're trying to make us hate gay people. They're trying to make us hate trans people. They're trying to make us hate black people. They're trying to make us hate white people. They're trying to make us hate women. They're trying to make us hate men. They're trying to, like, everything is hate, 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 because they're trying to force the divide. And if they can do that from the highest of levels, it without a doubt will destroy the middle class. Because of things, this isn't the example, this is an example. This is one single example of how creating these narratives that divide us and sending them down through the information channels will divide us, and it only hurts us. It hurts us more than it hurts anyone else. In answer as to what we should do about it,
Right.
let's use the Bud Light driver as an example.
Yeah.
People need to wake the fuck up, number one. So step one, wake the fuck up. That's what you need to do. If you don't understand this is happening and you don't understand the potential outcomes of this, then there's no way that you can position yourself to hedge against it. If you understand it and you start looking into it and you start, looking at history and you don't even have to look that far at history. It's happening right now. It's unfolding before our eyes. Like, just look at the last 3 years of our lives and say, shit, what has happened? Well, they have driven this divide. They have done this. They have done all this shit. What has happened? Well, the companies that are pushing this agenda are the ones that this is going to happen to. If you align yourself with a pro-freedom, a pro-America business that stands before anyone and everyone and says, I will defend my employees, I will defend my team, and I will not put them through this, you don't have to worry about that like someone who, like Bud Light or Anheuser-Busch.
Would you not have considered Bud Light one of those companies, though, before this
I
happened?
would never. They've always been America's brand. But
so that it's tough, man.
the Clydesdales.
It's tough.
Well, and that's the thing. Just to add some context real quick, that's the thing. Like, they know what they're doing. Bud Light knew what they were doing. And the thing that, and Matt, you've talked about this.
Nothing's more American than fucking Budweiser.
When you open your eyes and take a step back, you see it for what it really is. So let's just talk about the Bud Light thing just happened. You don't think Target CEOs didn't see that and they were like, maybe we shouldn't roll out this trans clothing line? They knew exactly what it was going to do, which goes to your point. It's to drive the divide. Target didn't become a billion-dollar company by accident or by being dumb. They knew what putting out that trans clothing line would do.
And he also mentioned in that piece of the episode that the people running these companies have they're not family built, These aren't people that grew up in the business, that took over the business from their family. These are just rich Harvard graduates that got a job and now all they care about is the money.
Yeah, of course.
So they give zero fucks about the business.
Internally, these truck drivers and these Bud Light employees saw this woke behavior internally coming before it was here in the masses. Before Dylan Mulvaney was the fucking spokesperson, the employees of Bud Light knew this. Before Target, as another American iconic brand that is being destroyed from the top down, we knew this was happening. You had to walk into Target. You got fucking beat with a stick to put a fucking mask on.
Weren't they one of the first companies that have
you've got gender right? Yeah. You've got genderless bathrooms. Like, when you see this happening, people, I want to have remorse for you because I understand we've all been fooled. But the answer is get away from those companies. This way, when they do face this, you're not a part of it anymore. Or the moment, maybe it's not too late. Listen, Bud Light driver, you're getting laid off because your shit isn't selling. So therefore, there's no more fucking orders. Therefore, there's no more reason for a delivery because they are now fucking overstocked. So there won't be any more shipments. Therefore, there's no reason for a driver to drive said shipments. Listen, when you see a company going woke and doing this shit, get the fuck out of Dodge. Go get a new job. Make a sacrifice. That's our real problem, is nobody is willing to make a fucking personal sacrifice because we have been so brainwashed from the time we were babies to stand in line. You don't talk when you're in the bathroom line. You don't do this. You need a hall pass to go take a piss. You need, it's every single thing. You get detention if you laugh. What in the fuck? It's like we're raising little dictators, little communists, little obedient little people that have no idea, and then they get into the adult world and it carries on. They're afraid. They don't understand. Well, hey, I've got this good job. Guess what? Leave. There's a million other fucking jobs out there, quite literally. Go find a new job. And if you need a new job and you're afraid that this is going woke, we see it all the time, dude, in the military. You're talking to 4 veterans here. We see it all the time. Lindy had a friend come to her the other day and say, hey, what did they say, 15 years? I'm thinking about putting 15 years worth of active duty on the line and walking from this because I don't know if I can handle it anymore. Fucking do it. Are you looking for advice? Do it. That's what you have to do. Unfortunately, that's what's happening within the ranks of our military. But the only reason or the only way we save this is not from boycotting and not buying their shit, although, I mean, that's effective to see the change, I guess, but that's not effective to protect the brand and to protect America and to protect yourself. The way to do that is take a risk, to make a sacrifice, and move the fuck on. Like, you have other options. I don't care if you've been 17 years in the military. I don't care if you've been with somebody with Target for 18 years or 15. Like, move the fuck on. Guess what? They're woke and they don't give a fuck about you, and they've proven it. For whatever the reason is, they have proven that they don't give a fuck about you. So it's time now you move on. And if that means you have to go from making $60,000 a year to making $40,000 a year, guess what? That's what you need to do to protect yourself. Because if you stick with it, you're going to go from making $60,000 a year to $0,000 a year, and you're going to be up shit's creek with no paddle behind the curve trying to figure out what you're going to do with your life. And that's when they win. I think we have to be proactive on this. If you work for a company, if you work for a boss who is forcing you to do shit that goes against your medical, physical, moral, religious beliefs and threatening your job, take that power away from them. Deuces. And I don't give a shit what it means. That's what you have to do. It's a sacrifice. And on the, in the spirit of Memorial Day, let's talk about how big, relatively speaking, how big of a sacrifice is it for you to go get a new job? You're talking about people who it's nothing. It's minuscule. It will go away in a matter of 2 weeks. The odds are you'll go get a new job with a new company that you're aligned with, and the people that you work with are all amongst the same belief system, like-minded, kind-hearted, loving, gel-type environment and culture where you will quickly realize happiness, and you'll go, that $20,000 doesn't mean shit for my happiness. So that's the answer. Of course, I would say also don't shop there and let them figure that out. I mean, that's that. But for Frisella, and I'm curious again to hear how he worded it, but for Frisella to say that the people boycotting Target are hurting the employees of Target could send the wrong message. The employees of Target need to get the fuck out of there. That's what they need to do. They need to leave and leave fast. Put in your 2 weeks if you really like your employer. If not, put in your no weeks and deuces and go find you an employer. And there's a lot of us out there who are looking for solid Americans who are hard workers to come work for us.
And there's very few of those type of workers that are going to be, the affected workers that Frisella's talking about that aren't going to be able to leave there and find something similar in pay. They're not making, $200,000 a year driving a truck,
Yeah.
So yeah, like you said, man.
Listen, start over.
Back yourself out of the situation and go somewhere else.
Go find someone who cares about you.
Do a redo.
Cares about
Get
America.
a restart. It's good for you.
Something you said on, I think it was on the Matt and Lindy episode, I think perfectly aligns with this too. When you were talking about, you're 40, let's say you live to be 70. You got 30 Christmases, 30 everything's left, right? at the end of the day, you want to be happy. If you're not happy somewhere, it's okay to start over because you're still breathing. You know what I mean?
Not only is it okay to start over, oftentimes change means you have to take a step back. Like, change isn't, hey, I was making $60,000 a year at this job and I got offered this position in North Carolina making 80. Like, that's change, sure. But that's not sacrifice with the change. Oftentimes always change is good. But if you're making a sacrifice, you're putting yourself, which I've also said on the show, you're backing yourself into a corner. That's how you get out of it. Make a hard decision. You want to grow, you want to fucking be at the top, you got to do hard shit. Easy shit is taking a pay raise job. Hard shit is taking a pay cut job to go do something you love, and you will excel where you love it. And to Ian's point, which was to my point, which was probably to Lindy's point, which may have been to Dylan Mulvaney's point, I don't know. It's important to spend the days we have on this earth with the people who we love and doing what we love. And if you don't fucking love it, man, and you don't love the people, make a fucking change, you know? And I'm not saying if you're in a good environment and you're just trying to grow, stick around, work hard, and do it. But if you're in a culture that you don't fit in, I mean, I encourage people that don't fit in my teams, my companies. If you don't fit in, I encourage them to leave. Because they're doing themselves a disservice, and guess what they're also doing?
Messing with your culture.
They're fucking with my culture. And I don't want that either. And I want better for them. I want everyone to succeed. You know, my place of business certainly isn't for everyone. You know, it's just one of those things. I mean, anyone who's listened to this show for more than 3 minutes today knows that I'm not for everyone.
And we don't know how to pronounce caramel.
We also don't know how to pronounce
Gargamel.
words. Gargamel is great. Anyway, I don't know, man. I think that's the answer. Get out of Dodge quick. And it doesn't matter what you have into it. I mean, if you're a year out from retirement, like my wife, like Zach, I mean, stick with it. Weather the storm. You're almost there.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
You see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Some people don't see the light yet.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if you've got years to go and you're trapped, and for the people who are sticking that out and weathering the storm to retirement and to whatever the end of that tunnel actually is, don't let them take your fucking pride. Don't let them take your soul. Don't let them take your heart. They can take your time. They can take your energy. They can take your money. If they don't take your heart, they don't take your soul, then they have nothing. You know, you can add your own purpose to your own job to get for your own self to get you over that hump. But I would certainly not be sticking around if I worked for Target or Bud Light. I wouldn't have given them a chance. The moment
you would have already been gone.
I would have been gone. Therefore, I would not have been a part of the problem.
Not only that, I would hate to say that I work for Target or Bud Light.
Yeah. Shit, man. Listen, that's what it all comes down to is personal. Frisella also says, nobody's coming to save you. This is up to us. This is up to our communities. This is up to us as individuals. Donald Trump isn't getting us out of this. Ron DeSantis isn't getting us out of this. RFK's not getting us out of this. Nobody's fucking getting us out of this but us. Personal accountability. And if we're not ready to be warriors, if we're not ready to make a sacrifice of a pay cut, so we can't go to the movies every Tuesday night, or we can't overspend, like you got to skip a fucking family vacation. Dude, the world's smallest violin playing for all the people who can't do that. Like, if you are of that mindset where you are trapped in a job that you fucking hate, where you don't align and you don't fit in, you're a part of the problem. You are a part of the problem. And I don't care what your belief systems are. You are a part, whether you want to be a part of the problem or a part of the solution, you are a part of the problem. You have to make good decisions. You have to be able to make sacrifices in order for all of this to work. We have to come together and rebel against them. And the way we do that is by protecting ourselves. making our own decisions for us. And sometimes that means we have to do shit we don't want to do, like leaving our fucking job, leaving our careers, or worse, dying, speaking out, being persecuted, being told you can't come to family dinners anymore, being told your family is putting their lives at risk, being told you're a threat to national security, being told that you're killing babies and old people. That's what it takes. You have to be able to stand up for it. It's not going to be fucking easy, but if you want to make a difference, nothing's easy. So, good job, Britt. See, we always fucking don't know which direction we're going to go. And you did it. You brought some shit up, fired me up. Well, don't tell me what I was trying to tell you that you were trying to tell me that I told you. I tell you
Gargamel.
Gargamel. Listen, I've been on one the last couple days. I told you all, those of us who listened to our last show.
I did.
Yes, I know you did several times. I've been on one. It's just, kind of in a funk. I'm trying to get shit done. I was in a funk the other day. You didn't have to listen to the episode. I told the story of me being kind of, I don't know, in a mild depression and funk, not wanting to, need my own time and wanting to do my own thing. Yeah. And then ended up on a little spiritual journey out with a flag on 180th and Harrison, getting flagged down by people giving me coins. Speaking of, there's the coin. Did you see this coin?
That's cool. I did.
Chief Epps wants you to eat a bag of dicks. Anyway, what do you that's what the coin says. This guy came and gave me a coin and some water, shook my hand, took a picture of me.
I still don't know if that's a compliment.
I know.
Yeah. And I was like, man, I'm like, thank you so much. I looked at this side where it says Bill Epps, EDG or EOC SCW. You probably know what that means, some Navy shit. And I was like, man, thank you so much. It means the world. And then as he's walking away, I was like, Chief Epps wants you to eat a bag of what?
Do you guys, is coins a thing in the Army?
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Okay, so you understand. So yeah, that's 100%. That's a compliment, regardless of him telling
Regardless
you
of whether he was telling me to eat a bag of dicks.
It's a compliment. It's huge.
It was really exciting.
We're just glossing over the fact this guy had civilian coins made to hand out to random people.
He's very patriotic.
Does he look like that?
Yeah.
Is that what he looks like?
Yeah.
He's got like a little emoji face on it.
He does. He's got a little He does. It's definitely him. I got a selfie. I'll show you a picture.
I bet you that was his saying in the Navy whenever he got mad at someone. Private Zach, eat a bag of dicks.
Yeah, he probably.
And he means that literally
he said,
Navy.
Hey,
that's right.
Stop
in the Navy, that's what they do in the Navy. Ian and I talked about that earlier. Anyway, yeah.
A lot of time on that boat.
You didn't get to. What do you think when I lose my shit? Let's pivot. Because I know Ian wants us to. Let's get off of my tinfoil hat conspiracy. Let's change the mood. Let's talk about how grumpy I get. What do you think?
Well,
before you do that, I'd like to give you a coin.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
What do you think about when I get shitty and grumpy and want to be alone?
Well, I cuss at you a little under my breath. No,
you don't ever cuss out loud. You cuss at me under your breath?
Sometimes I'm like, God, what is your fucking deal? Jesus.
Fucking
and then I walk
pussy.
away. And then I ask, I kind of blame it on myself a little bit because I wouldn't leave you alone about what you wanted to do because I didn't want to sit around because it's just a very somber day. Like, it's...
Because she's one of the people that need to be doing something and celebrating the wrong way?
No, not celebrating the wrong way.
Right.
But
fair enough.
I just gave you a moment and you told me, how about this? How about you go swimming, take the kids swimming, and I will go on a walk and think this over, get out of my funk, and we'll meet up in about 2 hours. And I said, that sounds...
It was way more than 2 hours, and it was awesome.
Way more than... But you asked me that, like you communicated that, and I took it very well, and I knew that you were serious because you had been in a funk since Zach left had to. He wasn't kidding.
Sorry.
When he called you, he was not kidding.
Sorry, man.
So you left and oh shit, all hell broke loose. No, but
I get that a lot though when I go places.
No, you don't. No, you don't. They're usually throwing a party with Gazoo.
He's gone.
He's gone. Yay! Break
But
out the
he
champagne.
communicated it very well, and I responded well, and I went and had fun with the kids. We had a great time, and then we came back, and everything was great.
Yeah.
Like that's all you needed was a little bit of time to. We had been nonstop all weekend with people, and so I processed that, thought about it, because you like some downtime, and I don't, especially on holiday weekends.
Bye, Felicia.
So
see y'all.
I just wanted to, give him his space, and it worked out perfect.
I want to applaud you though too, Lindy, because you could have taken offense to that. You could have added to his funk by being, "What do you mean? Why aren't you going to come with us?"
But
Dude,
I know
Want
what.
to spend time with me?
We've talked
It's
about
a
you.
holiday, Matt.
We've talked about this. You know who does a good job of explaining this? Sean Whalen, holding space, not traveling. And Lindy and I have talked about this 100 times over the last years. When I go down those dark lanes and those dark holes, don't fucking follow me. It's the worst thing for it. Don't follow me.
Meaning, don't be a bitch back.
Yeah, don't. It has nothing to do with you.
Don't
It's
get an
all
attitude
me.
back.
Maybe you end up even the recipient of some of that all me. Just fight it. Fight the power. There's a certain type of person, me, that does it. Jordan does this also, doesn't she?
Sometimes, yep.
Yeah, I imagine. There's a certain type of person that does it. Don't follow me down the fucking path. Just stay here and hold space. Hold my space for me. I'll be back. Or encourage me to get out of it. But even then, like sometimes, dude, there's just not like, there was nothing that day.
If he would have told me that and I didn't have plans, or an invite to go to a friend's house or something, my feelings may have been a little hurt, because I don't want to make it sound like I'm just, A-okay with him telling me he needs space. I had a place to go. I was excited to go see my best friend and our kids hang together. But normally I always have something to do. I can always go somewhere. I can take the kids to the park. I can do anything to let him get out of his funk or whatever. But
I wasn't going to leave you hanging.
well, I know that.
Earlier that day, though, you had made some matcha teas with some gin. Do you think maybe that sent you down a little psychedelic
No,
journey?
I think psychedelic. I think I should have drank more of them.
Oh, they were delicious.
I think something that is really important to notice out of it, though, is how important self-reflection is. Like, something truly beautiful came out of you being in a funk, you being a supportive spouse, allowing him space. None of the shit with the flag, with
But he
all
found
of
his
that would have
purpose.
happened. Literally,
He found his purpose while he was on his walk-in.
from something essentially starting off the day bad, because you both are so in tune with each other and allowing self-reflection. Something beautiful came out of it.
That's right. Something beautiful always comes out of self-reflecting. And I didn't start off the day bad. Zach was with me at the start of that day. I didn't start off the day bad. Ian didn't mean to insult you.
We had matcha teas.
We had matcha
Some
teas.
gin.
We took photos.
We talked about peptides
That's right.
to exhaustion.
You did the Merv.
I did
That's
the
right.
Murph that
That's
morning.
right. It was a good day. Anyway. All right, listen, let's wrap this thing up. We've talked about guy penises, chick dicks, Gargamels. Appreciate everyone listening. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for another great show. We figured it out, as always.
We got there.
Yeah, we figured it out. Thanks for, I don't even remember what you said that sent me off on a tear again, but honey, thanks
Never do.
for, yeah, of course. I love it when you're here. You soften the blow. You made us change the tone of the show and keep us back on track with ending with love. So anyway, thanks everyone. Thank you all for listening. As always, smash that like and subscribe button.
Best one yet.
Ring ding dong the bell. Follow us on Instagram and all of our socials. Share the show. Means the world to us. And as always, find your purpose, serve your purpose, and protect your purpose, people. Thank you.
Peace.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.